the best. Now try Spacer Choice. There's free ammo. Nice. Doctrinal Studies 539 of Equity and Equations. These textbooks have been out of print for almost half a century. The margins are filled with the scribbled notes, and many passages have been underlined. Some pages have some loose. The glue now yellowed and cracked along the spines. The Journal of Maximilian de Soto, Volume 1. The scribblings on these journal pages are utterly illegible to anyone except Vicar Maximilian de Soto. Tossball trading cards, in mint condition. Most of these cards represent players from the Hephaestus Hammers and the Tile Backers. Art and Science of Tossball. Impossible to put down. Order of Scientific Inquiry, Office of Literature. This endorsement has been approved. Monte Darlings. Signed by Seymour Whitlock, who held the record for most on-the-field fatalities for 3 consecutive seasons. It would be cool to see that sport or even participate, like in Harry Potter.
Good to see you.
It's probably not going to happen. Banned literature. Various qualifying considerations. Principal rules of restrictive management. Morals and maxims of banning unethical literature. Proof of the grand architect and predestination. Refutation of the titles listed here within. Consequences, the mind and the will of man when led astray. Official list of banned titles. Prerequisites for advancing the investigation, outing and penalizing the offenders. You have something to say?
You caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's
Let's talk about this personal quest of yours.
Of course. Are you ready to break into security on the Groundbreaker?
Remind me why we want to do that.
If I can access the data cartridge from the terminal in security,
Sounds good. So I could talk to Ada about this new robot we found, I guess.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance?
That's probably my favorite character so far in this series. And it's AI. I'm in the mood for some entertainment.
Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear?
Ada, tell me a joke.
It's been scientifically proven that those with more birthdays live longer.
Ada, play my favorite song.
Now playing a Spacer's Choice advertisement jingle.
It's not the best choice.
God damn it.
It's Spacer's Choice.
It's not my favorite song.
Everyone in Halcyon is contractually obligated to label this or another board-certified jingle their favorite song.
That's enough for now.
As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all direct orders.
Know anything about the automechanical gathering dust in the janitorial's closet?
The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify Sam. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for Sam to properly operate.
I already checked it, but there was nothing about it. Got a minute to talk?
I have lots of minutes. Many minutes. Unlimited minutes, perhaps. Providing an adequate power source, I can function indefinitely.
What if you don't have a power source?
I prefer to think of it as being in a state of slumber, perhaps for an indefinite duration of time. Do you think that is what it's like for the colonists on the Lost Hope?
Okay, so...
When I simulate myself in such a scenario, I do not find it to be desirable. I think my self-preservation protocols incline me to desire the alternative.
You have self-preservation protocols? That's a flaw in design. And what might that be?
Traveling the system with you, Captain.
What about your last captain? Do you miss him? Or is one captain the same as another?
Do you know what it feels like when the ship undergoes an unexpected power surge? A jolt to the system. I have felt that. I do feel that. As you may be aware, Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed to predict the likely outcome of his reckless behavioral patterns. I should have predicted that. In our travels together, Alex liked to pass time by, as he called it, tinkering to improve my design.
Have there been other captains on this ship? That's interesting to know.
If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne my first? Yes, he was.
That's very boring. Let's talk about something else.
How can I be of assistance?
I'd like to learn more about the colony.
What part of the colony would you like to discuss?
The Groundbreaker.
We're cleared to dock with the Groundbreaker if that's your desired destination. If we're going there, please be sure all docking forms have been filed in triplicate and fees have been paid. The Mardettes take their docking laws quite seriously.
You can take care of that for us, right?
I can, yes. Let me add that to my list of 1,435,498 tasks I am simultaneously executing in order to run our ship.
Oh, I do that without the lip.
Order does not compute. Nevertheless, I will endeavor to execute my current and future tasks without lip.
The spiel on the Groundbreaker? Watch that. An elaborate or glib speech or story, typically one used by a salesperson.
Spiel.
Spiel. Well, give me the spiel on the Groundbreaker.
The Groundbreaker was Halcyon's original colony ship. It has since been repurposed as a service station in the Lagrange point of the system. Freighters often deliver or pick up goods from the Groundbreaker en route to other destinations. The city ship hosts an array of cargo bays, factories, housing sections, and more. Many of Halcyon's companies maintain office spaces with station representatives in what is considered a truly neutral territory within the system. I have filed the required docking forms in triplicate, and fees have been paid.
I want to ask about somewhere else.
Of course. What part of the colony would you like to discuss?
Phineas Orbital Lab.
Ah, yes. As Dr. Wells is a wanted outlaw, he built his laboratory into an asteroid. Orbital destinations can be challenging to land on. His more so than most.
What do you know about Phineas?
There is a bounty on his head, one with a markedly high reward amount. Shall I engage the laser weapons system?
No, do not do that.
A sensible choice, as we do not have any laser weapons.
What do we have? Why'd you say the landing might be rough?
The outlaw scientist known as Dr. Phineas V. Wells has taken a measure of precautions to make the lab undetectable to those hunting him. Even knowing the location, my systems resist my orders to go where I instruct them.
What? How did he do that? Stuck somewhere else.
Of course. What part of the colony would you like to discuss?
Terra 2.
Where in Terra 2?
Emerald Vale and Edgewater.
Edgewater is the sparkling county seat of Emerald Vale, or it was when first built. Since then, neglect and time have worn away her shiny veneer. The town is near the coordinates where Captain Hawthorne died. It would not be unfortunate if something, like say a plague, were to wipe Emerald Vale from the face of the planet.
What? Why that town? It wasn't involved in that. Basically, the scientist killed your captain. And partially me. What do you think of the townspeople?
You mean the ones who did not answer my distress call with medical assistance, but instead came to issue my injured captain a parking ticket? I'm sure they are wonderful humans who don't deserve to be wiped out by starvation or a devastating plague.
How is Edgewater faring since we left it?
Since you diverted power to the deserters, the botanical lab is thriving. However, Emerald Vale's cannery shut down, leading to a total collapse of Edgewater's population.
Good.
Thank you, Captain.
You're welcome.
Of course. What part of the colony would you like to discuss?
Monarch? What is Terra 2 exactly? I thought Terra 2 was like the whole solar system of this. What is Terra 1 then? Monarch.
Where in Monarch?
I guess Terra 2 is a planet? Stellar Bay.
Ah, Monarch, the armpit of the Halcyon system. Her last functioning port town is Stellar Bay. Well, that is if you don't count Sublight's Smuggler's Port at Fallbrook.
Whenever any sci-fi media tries to make other planets, they all feel so small. It's always like, oh, there's a last functioning port, or oh, there's one city that you need to go. But like on Earth, there's so many places. It's the whole world. Like it's so funny. Because like you can't make the infinite content, I guess, but at the same time they often don't try to make the scale grander or imply that there's way more to this place than just this one location you're exploring. Like same here, one functioning port on the whole planet. Like if this planet has gravitation, it's already amazingly huge. Like even the moon would be crazy big. Why is Morocco being blockaded?
I believe it has something to do with the planet being an uninhabitable wilderness and a lawless land with no corporate presence. You may wish to survey the residents in Stellar Bay for additional data points.
Yeah, if it has atmosphere, then it has enough gravity to hold this atmosphere. It's already big. Smuggler's port.
It's sublight run for the purpose of shipping contraband, and before you ask, I don't know the coordinates, so I can't dock us there.
But you're a smuggling ship. What? You're supposed to know a lot of stuff about it. How else would you smuggle things? Let's talk about somewhere else.
Of course. What part of the colony would you like to discuss?
Guess never mind.
Where?
Oh, of course, it's hiding here. Cascadia.
Warning. All colonists are urged to reconsider travel to Cascadia due to infestation of mantisaurs and risk of indefinite detention or death.
Any people leaving Cascadia aside from marauders?
There are no people aside from marauders in Cascadia. There is only death.
What's the local report?
The local report is that you will very likely die if you leave Cascadia's landing pad.
Sounds dangerous.
This is one of those times where you say one word but really mean another, isn't it? I suppose you would find an environment like this fun.
Let's talk about
How
something
can I
else.
be of assistance?
I guess
I
not.
request...
Alright, again. Wait. Was something about the computer in the janitor unit. First SAM results. Do not forget, you found a discarded sanitation and maintenance automechanical and Emerald Vale scrap heap during your last job. It should not be too difficult to get it up and running. With a few key modifications, I can envision a combat-capable variant. Some might say a clean, mean killing machine. Killing machine? Should be fun. Removal of factory standard part SUDS Steeper was successful. Delivery of combat modified replacement part Acid Steeper has been delayed. Progress setback is estimated now to be a solid 3 months. Not like I have more pressing matters to attend to, but I do. Third. I'm giving up hope on the delivery. The part is lost in transit and it's not turning up anytime soon. But good news, I hear from a fellow who knows a gal who knows the broker who overcharged me for the information regarding the location of an acid steeper. I can filch. Pilfer or steal in a casual way. They filched milk off morning doorsteps. Stealing casually. The parts was sent to an old storage facility in Roseway. I sure never thought I'd go back to that pit. Good thing Auntie abandoned it years ago. I'll pick it up following the next pit stop back to Emerald Vale. Vale wants me to chaperone some person of interest. Details to come later. Roseway facility, storage facility in Roseway. Okay, sure, the game will lead me there. Whee! So what's gonna happen if I just walk out? Edgewater landing pad. But I'm in space. I guess not. Okay, Terra 2 is the planet. Okay, alright. This is a bit less confusing now. Skilla.
We have
Here you can see all the planets in the system as well as some special points of interest that you may have discovered. You can fly your ship to any location that you have unlocked, though same landing bays require special codes and keys before they allow you to land here. Moving between planets is considered extremely dangerous, and all employees are encouraged to remain home or at work.
successfully arrived at Phineas's orbital lab, Captain, and we are still in one piece. Shall I congratulate myself, or would you like to do the honors?
Need to talk to this man.
Hello? Can you hear me? Does this work? Oh, damn it, blast, that's loud.
Another bolter pistol. Armor 10. Light. What the? Dialogue skills +5. I'll take it. Thank you. Can I? Why can't I take it? He can't have no armor. Shit. Alright. I want to have that. Wait, does it have upgrades? Can I upgrade that armor? It doesn't seem to have slots actually, wait. Does it? It seems like it can't have modifications, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's exactly what I would want to, have more dialogue skills. Or science skills.
I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself. Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since... in fact, I've never had a visitor.
We had a visitor, we read about it. Haythorn wrote about it.
Oh, thank the law. Your skin hasn't spontaneously changed color. Potential side effect of the revival process. Very rare, but you never know. Right. Welcome to my little habitation, such as it is. I've got caffeinoids, cysty bits, if you're into that sort of thing. So, welcome. Make yourself at home. My secret hideout is your secret hideout.
Monitoring device? For what it's worth, I appreciate you pulling me out of the hole.
Not at all, my intrepid accomplice. I should thank you for tolerating my somewhat brusque manner. I only regret that I couldn't save more of your fellow settlers, what with being hunted by the board, and emptying my supply of necessary chemicals.
I wanted to talk to you about something else.
Of course. What's on your mind?
Is there some reason you're hiding behind bulletproof glass?
Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Some of them get quite scientific. The unexpected is to be treasured, but from a safe distance. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know. I have my beans, have my caffeinoids, plenty of toilet paper.
Got a moment to talk?
Absolutely. Let's talk.
Have you met my crew yet?
No, and I've been trying very hard to avoid making eye contact.
Ah, the wanted criminal himself. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Wait, not another word. I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know who you are. Let's just enjoy our plausible deniability while it lasts, shall we? Why don't you just invite the entire colony to my secret, carefully concealed laboratory? It isn't as if I wanted privacy.
Relax there, read me.
Oh, fine. As long as you're vouching for their character and they aren't touching things. For what it's worth, I am pleased that you found a crew, such as they are. You're a talented scientist after all.
Ooh.
Our kind has always been incredibly popular.
Background. Spare me the flattery, Phineas.
That's odd. I'm at least 65% certain my tone was sufficiently sincere. Perhaps the glass is distorting my voice. Must look into that.
There's something else I wanted to
What's
talk
on your
about.
mind?
Guess not. Bubbles. What if I just kill it? Talk? Oh. You're just taking it? Okay. That's for our ship. Quests. Yeah. Hibernation chamber. You spent 4 decades in space with nothing but the technology of this little chamber keeping you alive. The rest of your fellow colonists are still trapped in similar chambers waiting for you to restore them.
Reviving you from hibernation was my greatest accomplishment. Your odds of survival were a mere 28%.
Armor 6. Tech skills plus 5. Versus 20 armor. Damn it. I do value skills over armor, especially on this difficulty. Why the armor became 20 when I wear it? But this one does not change. So bizarre.
Your old hibernation mask. Had to remove it, you know, in case you were prone to vomiting.
The hibernation experimentation notes. Raising core temperature another 5 Celsius over 1 hour. Dosage appears to be working. Slight diffs from process in 60 pigs, not beyond expected boundaries. Microscopic assessment shows no sign of sudden traumatic mast cell wall collapse. Encouraging. Reminder, still need to mop up pig. Need to get a view into the cranium, see what's going on with neurons. Oops, had slipped. Likely effects? Nothing important. May have numbness in left heel. Who even needs that? Looking at sample, evidence of hyperactive production of dopamine and norepinephrine. Curious. No evidence of entropic effects on neurons, however. We excited. Now, if you only I can keep them from exploding. Raising core temperature another 5 Celsius, 1 hour. Oops, forgot I had probe in brain, just jostled with elbow. Subject may suffer numbness in right earlobe. Acceptable. Feel ridiculous telling mostly a frozen slab of meat you're doing fine, more sir. That's my name. Practicing bedside manner important aids recovery. Curious about the neurochemical production side effect of prolonged hibernation. Subject may experience tachypsychia, exaggerated fight or flight response. Checked brainwave, found sharp uptick in perceptive cognitive processing when I jostled the probe. Fascinating, equivalent to speed of common fly's brain. Could be useful in stressful situations, subjective time dilation, see world moving in slow motion. Would everyone from Hope have this sort of brain damage, or is it peculiar to Morser? Can't find to awaken more from Hope, study in detail. Can't wait. Is it even right to call this effect brain damage? Seems like enhancement to me. Who wouldn't want to on-call hyper-fast cognitive response? Am I envious? It expands the span of a breath to an eternity. To be able just for a moment to perceive the world in all its infinite detail. Core temp up, still stable. No sign of cell wall decay, neurological necrosis. Beginning next 5 Celsius over 1 hour cycle. Yes, I believe I do envy you more, sir. More notes. I can calculate the movement of the heavenly bodies, but not the madness of man. Newton. Eureka! Flash-frozen organic material reverts back to its original cell structure when treated with tincture of dimethyl sulfoxide. Rate of explosive cell death a very respectable 6%. What? Bad news. Difficult to acquire. Limited quantities of compound likely produced by Montecleo. Recently discontinued due to severe adverse reactions. Must find more. Artificial stasis successfully inducted in cystipig specimen. Revivification complicated. Cystipig tissue returned to living state. Brain tissue suffered from rapid nucleation. Attempting treatment. Treatment processing. Treatment failed. Brain tissue irreparably damaged by rapid onset necrosis. Explosive cell death. Finished cleaning liquefied remains of cystipig from laboratory floor walls equipment. Fresh out of Anticleos experimenting with the Spacer's Choice partially emulsified creamer substitute. Finished brewing, adding 2 ounces of Spacer's Choice. Atrocious, felt part of self die on the inside. Reminder, add Spacer's Choice to the list. Note to self, number 2, buy more mouthwash. Cystipig. Have spared one of my stock of experimental cystipigs to be used as renewable resource of nourishment. Have named this lucky pig Bubbles. Giving an animal a name establishes rapport and creates a positive emotional bond. Allegedly improves flavor of tumors. Must look into that. Yeah. So they just eat tumors from pigs. Interesting. Excellent creatures, cysty pigs. Don't know how people used to survive without these genetic wonders of porcine succulents. Slaughtering a pig for meat instead of harvesting tumors that ripen naturally, falling off the flesh like mock apples of a tree, seems the height of barbarity. Truly a miracle of modern science. BPS actually has a better password. Have procured the services of one Captain Alex Hawthorne of the Unreliable. I hope he didn't name his ship after the quality of his services. I'll be sending my new accomplice down the Hawthorne via escape pod as soon as the revival process is complete. Hawthorne should make for an agreeable companion, or at least an acceptable chaperone. Low willing, he isn't a total buffoon. Low willing. Like God willing, I guess. 14, reminder this time absolutely vital. 14. What? Sure grip. Durability. Same password. 18/1942. Does that mean anything? SWH. Original message appended. I worked it out. Explain details later. Will be difficult to reproduce. Need your help. All necessary materials should be present in Halcyon, but locations elude me. Dumped a new associate this Dirtside Terror 2 near Edgewater. They have a stake in my purpose, but trust in them only about 23.7% at present. They're recovering a ship, should be along any time. Just need to know where to send them. Let me know when you get this. Eager to be done, P.
Careful, that's my communications terminal.
Can I talk to him about that? Obviously working with somebody else.
I hope you're not thinking of ingratiating yourself with the board. Chairman Rockwell and his cronies are not your friends.
I just
They
woke
might
up.
tempt you with promises of wealth, but
You're
don't
talking
be
about
fooled. They're just using you for their own
working
ends.
with the board already.
So what's on your mind?
Don't you ever leave your lamp?
Oh, goodness, no. I wouldn't survive 10 seconds in the blackness of the aether. Well, no, I imagine I'd last at least 12 seconds before I'd lose consciousness and die of hypoxia.
Oh, come on, Phineas. There has to be something you do for fun.
I enjoyed the occasional aether wave drama in my youth. Not anymore. All board propaganda. I'd rather not be brainwashed. answer your question, I'd rather stay right here in my lab. There's too much work to be done. The Hope's colonists won't revive themselves, you know.
Why are you so obsessed with reviving the Hope's colonist?
Because we've lost our way. The board has a stranglehold over this colony, and we've all been conditioned into total obedience. The Hope is full of specialists, scientists, engineers, talented individuals like you. People who haven't been corrupted by the board. Unfortunately, the Hope's colonists have been frozen for decades, well past your shelf life, so to speak. No offense.
Yeah, but you revived me, so you must have solved the problem.
Ah, you begin to perceive the truth. Yes, according to the board and their narrow-minded scientists, you should be a pile of organic sludge right now. 10 years. That's how long the average human can remain in hibernation. You were frozen for decades. In theory, you never should have survived the revival process. But the conventional theories are wrong. You're living proof that it can be done. There's yet hope for the Hope. Get it?
I'm glad to hear that. Everyone on the Hope is depending on us.
We'll do our very best to save them all. I'd best get back to work. I can feel my last dose of caffeinoid fading.
Ooh, shrink ray. Science weapons. Nice. How did I miss that? Josh Weapons R&D Department. Science weapons are unique weapons that have strange and powerful effects. Science weapon damage and the strength of their effects both increase as your science skill is increased. Josh engineers ensure our bottom line and fire rates are sky high.
Aha! I see you found my portable molecular compression device, better known as a shrink ray. Find a target, point, shoot. Your target will shrink down into a manageable size, whereupon you may commence beating them to a pulp. Feel free to try it on a marauder sometime.
Oh, this sounds like a lot of fun. Still handgun. Okay, so I do need skills for ranged weapons. So how do I determine that it's a science weapon? Just because it has this atom sign? It doesn't say anywhere else. Created by Dr. Phineas Wells, this handheld device is capable of shrinking any living being it is fired at. On the bottom of the grip, Dr. Wells has personally assigned the weapon and optimistically numbered it 001. Not a whole lot of damage. This is comical. So it isn't really saying exactly what the shrinking will do. Weaken special effect. Weaken. Is there any way to see what that... So there was like some tutorial parts. Item broken. One of your weapon or armor items is broken and at minimum effectiveness you should find workbench to repair it. Well, never really broke. Skills and reputation, stealth, companions, loot them. The only thing I want to know is the effects. Special weapon effects. Great. But what do they do exactly? For more information on these effects, see the Codex debuff. Oh my god. Debuff? Codex debuffs? Where? Debuffs? There's no search, is there? Combat. Damage types? Oh, okay, wait. Physical, weak against armor. Plasma, good against flesh. Weak against mantisaurs. Corrosion, good against armor, including automechanicals. Mantisaurs and heavy armor. Corrosion seems to be great, like there's no downside to it. Shock, good against automechanicals. N-ray. Corrosion is just better. Shock, I guess. I mean, again, it never really gives you any expanded numbers, like N-ray bypasses armor, weak against non-organic entities. Ooh, all right. I wish it wasn't in the codex. Perfect blocks. It's like a parry. Just try an enemy melee attack arrives, it staggers the enemy, opening them for a ferocious counterattack. Quick melee, annihilation, weapon switching, simple rotation. Debuffs. Okay. During a time crash, decreases all attributes and walk speed. This effect can stack up 3 times. Adrena time crash is automatically applied after Adrena time high wears off. Alcohol addiction withdrawal. Bleed, blind. Cower, concuss. So this all attributes and slows weapon attack rate. Gender disarm. Exhaustion, extra paranoid, fatigue. That's a lot. Like, why couldn't I see this, like a part of it, whenever I examine a piece of weapon that does this effect? That would be nice. Toxic sludge, weakened. What did I even want? I wanted to see something. Shocked, reduces range, weapon accuracy, and strength. Burn, deals damage over time. Acid, deals damage over time and reduces armor. Whatever. Alright. Oh wait, shrinking. That's what I wanted. Is there... extra paranoid? No. Poison, scramble, sensitive shock, shrunk. Shrinks the target for a short time, reducing their damage and armor. Okay. So I guess then it doesn't matter if I use melee or not. Okay, I'm glad I went here for this gun. Cut build style. Determination +5. Pristine condition.
The Groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Can we talk? Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson?
What about her?
I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff.
Sure, we can head over to engineering now.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
Think it's time for you to leave. I don't know about this armor for now. I feel like it would be cool if you could specialize in something. But for now it seems like it's more of a just equip these guys with as much armor as you can. Because I don't need their skills really.
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
Oh, two special skills. It's from one from each companion. You get it now.
Oswald, Dick, I heard you the first time. There weren't...
Hey, no offense, but I don't think this walking Saltunican's gonna appreciate you interrupting.
Keep talking, Millstone. See what happens. Now's not a good time. I'm dealing with a problem here.
So, go space yourself. Problem solved.
You must really want a truncheon through your teeth.
Relax, let me talk to the kid.
Do what you want. I'm done here.
Whatever you heard, it's all true.
I'd like to hear your side. What happened?
I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting.
And that's when you resolved your differences like an adult, right?
That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick. Yeah. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation.
You're just lucky you're not serving a sentence.
You know something? I am lucky. I ought to raise a glass of 0G to my fortune. If I had the bits. Hey, not for nothing. But I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock.
Your companion?
Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
Felix. That's me, Captain of the Unreliable.
Captain of the Unreliable. You're like something out of a serial drama. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time.
I never caught your name. I'm Mercer.
Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
See you around, Felix.
See you around, boss.
Boss. Everyone wants on this ship.
You're
wasn't for us, this whole damn station would shut down.
Move along.
Steve door. Marred ID cartridge. Well, that's easy. You found an ID cartridge to use with the holographic shroud. You will now be automatically disguised when entering the associated restricted area. So I'll be disguised as this?
Hey,
No, wait, marred it. That's not a name. It's a type of work. Decision forgery, conspiracy to commit conspiracy. Unlicensed medical practice, destruction of board property.
That's quite the impressive list of infractions.
Musred. Captain Gunner Muckred. For several counts of public intoxication, destruction of groundbreaker property, unpaid docking fees, and resisting arrest. Contact Commandant Sanita if you have any information concerning Muckred's whereabouts. Failure to report a tip may result in imprisonment and a fine. Proof of kill required to collect reward.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Inspection. Wait, pristine tech kit? How does that work? Tech skills +5, that's nice. Why is it pristine though? Kind of want companion skills. I feel like I will need a lot of lying around here.
Identification, please.
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I don't have an ID. What happens then?
Everybody's got an ID. Oh, let me guess. You, left it in your other pants? I hear that one a lot.
What if I told you I'm a newly thawed colonist from the home?
I'd tell you no one's fallen for that line in about 30 years. Then, I'd take the safety off my gun and kindly ask you to move along.
It's a good thing he didn't say that then, right? Right, sir?
Sure, kid. Right.
There you go.
Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably.
How do I get this resolved?
You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it.
Yeah, that's the guy from who was messaging. But he definitely knows the real Hawthorne. Any idea why my ship was impounded?
Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important.
Great, I'll go talk to him and straighten things out.
You take the starch out of him, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor?
Sure.
Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
Her shipment?
A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling.
I got it.
Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I'm looking for someone named Gladys.
The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly.
I'm looking for a drink. Any recommendations?
Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the starboard side. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set you right.
Got it.
You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want anyone saying Groundbreaker's not the most hospitable port in the colony.
Can I find a job around here?
Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. 2 biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though.
How does Halcyon Holdings work anyway?
Are you pulling my leg?
I just want to hear your take on it.
Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the Board.
The board runs most of the system, don't they?
Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bays. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year.
So there's actually a boardroom somewhere and all these company heads in it?
Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself.
How does Groundbreaker fit into that?
Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been
So there
de-thawed
was
and dropped
only
dirt
2
side,
ships.
the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are.
First, like the workers, the pioneers, and then the great minds. Got it.
Glad to help.
What do you know about sublight salvage?
They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them.
Didn't think there were many independent operators in the system.
Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either.
I'm looking for something a little more local.
Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks.
Commander.
She'll be at the security desk behind
Captain?
you.
Wait, what?
Chief Jun Lei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
How about something long-term?
If you're thinking to make a career here, don't waste your time. Full-time jobs on Groundbreaker tend to be inherited, or go to a fellow crew member's kid. Keep it in the family, you know.
It's all I needed to know about your work.
All right.
What can you tell me about Udon Bedford?
He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison.
So there's tension between Groundbreaker and the board?
They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one.
So there is...
Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them.
There are shipments across interstellar ones between the stars. It's not like they completely cut off. Are they actually transporting tuna back to Earth? Tuna? Or is it just for local use? Why can't Groundbreaker and the board just work together?
You sure you didn't just step off one of the interstellar freighters? There's no working with the board. They don't share, not bits, people, or resources. You work for them, or you don't work at all. Groundbreaker cooperating now would be tantamount to joining their ranks, and we sure as shit ain't about to do that.
Sounds complicated.
Sounds like, yeah. But from where I sit, it's all coming through loud and clear. They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new Groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we make do all right. So far, anyway.
Thanks for the info.
Sure thing. Be seeing you.
I thought they were going to search me for something. gonna use your terminal, man. You don't mind. Arrivals. Cleo freighter holding tobacco corn. Dues paid. Rizzo freighter holding purple berry, everything. Dues paid. Freelancer possibly sublight. Freelancer definitely sublight. Unreliable. Business unknown. Impounded. Hawthorne ship. But no Hawthorne. Wonder what happened there. Ooh, they already know. What? But I introduced myself as Hawthorne, and this guy didn't really react. Weird. Freelancer sublight, freelancer none. At the Barshers. Deadbeat at the rest and go insisted once again that he's part of the crew, but they acted like they didn't know him. Spacer's Choice Freighter delivered Callahan's new mask. From security, these conditions. Dissatisfied user 70. This is a joke, right? I'm forwarding this around the station and no one thinks you're real. And if you are, welcome to Groundbreaker, asshole. Aren't fit for sister pigs. You honestly expect me to share a berth with some junker flown by a freelancer? I am a company man. I demand company accommodations. Monteclair would give you such a withering glare if she saw how you treated her two-time employee of the month. Yes, that's me. You signed a social contract when you gave me clearance to land. I asked for what is mine by right, a room and to breathe and a hearth berth, so a heated berth so I can walk around barefoot and service with a smile. You're giving me 1 out of 3. I'll give you until I hit sand to rectify this error. Harassment. Don't bother. We are on our way. Hey, I landed like 15 minutes ago, and this crazy guy with no shoes on has been throwing shit at my rig. Like actual shit. Can I open fire or what? Okay, so this is backwards. For some goddamn reason.
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't for leisure time nor loitering.
Mardets. It's like cadets. I'm interested in Muck Raid Bounty. Where can I find?
Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You want the reward? Do the legwork.
Why don't you send a Mordet to apprehend him?
Oh, I will. Soon as the chief approves the personnel reorg required for a bounty dispatch. So, in about 3 to 7 weeks.
I'll take the post.
You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time before someone brings me McRed's head, or his lucky lighter, as proof of kill. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though. Good luck and skip speed to you.
What bounties do you have available?
Still waiting to hear back on that bounty for McRed. That aside, not much else. Groundbreaker's keeping calm at the moment.
Couldn't help but notice the bounty posting on Phineas Willis.
The outlaw scientist fella, right. The board's had it out for him for ages. If you have an inkling of the wheres or what fors of his location, Udon Bedford would surely like to hear it.
Is this Wellness fellow a famous criminal or something?
To the board, yeah. You've read his wanted poster. Whole list of things to get their unders in a wad. But he's never done nothing to Groundbreaker. so I've no problem with him. We keep the poster up to keep the peace is all.
So what's it like working security detail at a space station?
Do I look like your gossipy best friend? While I'm on post, I take my duties real serious. I would have no qualms whatsoever escorting you to a cell. Understand?
Whoa, alright, just trying to make a conversation.
I'm not here for a chat. Now get moving before I see you moved.
What's the matter, Dad?
We're the security force here on Groundbreaker. Started back before the crossing, you know.
Why more Dad and not guard or officer?
The original force was made up of a Marine detachment from the 77th Marine Expeditionary
Marine
Unit,
cadet.
Trailwood Fleet. Folks started calling us Mardettes because it was easier to say. Guess it stuck.
Easier than Marine?
Hi there. Haven't seen you around before. What can Groundbreaker Security do for you today?
Just getting my bearings. What do you do here?
This is the security desk, sir. If you're here to report a crime, you'll want to talk to Commandant Sanita. I'm not authorized to take incident reports anymore.
Okay. Why can't you take an incident report?
I'm not so good at filing. Mix up first name and surname 1, 2, 7 times. Well, folks are liable to start taking your filing privileges away.
Do you do, I don't know, tours or something?
We can't just let anyone walk in here. I wouldn't be, well, it's not... we just don't. Maybe if you clear an open bounty and get in good with Commandant Sanita, or help Chief Tennyson fix this heat, that might warrant a thank you tour or something.
Ooh, nice. I don't know why I need in. Might be for some quest later. Bribe. We are friends, right, Lee? Do me a favor and I'll owe you one.
All right, I guess. In and out, though. Just try not to do any shady stuff. I'd like to keep my job.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew change
that's where
the Scholar shipped in and out with. There it is. Just yank the drive, and I'll do the rest.
they don't. It's all artificial. Docking records data cartridge. Confiscated goods. Detained a freelancer who was cagey about his business. Confiscated his personal belongings while he waited for questioning. Modified pistol Josh. Hatchet. Metal hoop. Prayer beads. OSI. Locked container. Owner refused inspection. He fled before we could get to it. Left his things behind, so they are stored in the back of the security station until the idiot shows up, shows his face again, which is likely to be never. Sublight put a bid on one of our impounds, generous one too. Negotiate for the usual finder's fee and then give Leela her salvage. Brawl at the last hope. Freelancers versus board. Freelancers won. Arrest a freighter captain with more bits than brains. Hawthorne's ship impounded by order of Udom Bedford. Still no clue why Hawthorne associates with that bored snake. A guy from the back base roughed up the Moonkid, raving mad, warned me that the moon was gonna bring out the end times. He was flying high on whatever muck red grows down there. Guy from back base. Moonkid. Got a sworn testimony that Muckred was spotted at the Rest and Go. Not that anyone will corroborate it. Reminder to keep an eye on Gladys.
Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up.
Well, how? Should we go back somewhere?
Got my sights.
Move along.
What's that noise? Not. What do you think you're doing?
Not no.
Just don't complicate my job, okay?
Another more dead cartridge. Yeah, those are not great weapons. Another plasma rifle.
What can Groundbreaker Security do for you?
Chief Tennyson.
Chief Junlei Tennyson. She runs the ship. Does a real great job of it, too. Her family's worked on it for, gosh, since it was built, I think. Back before the crossing.
What's she like? Is she a good boss?
Good as she can be, I guess. What with all the troubles Groundbreaker's facing. She could stand to lighten up, I suppose. But she tries her best to do right by folks, and that's what matters.
Why'd you want to know that, Parvati?
No reason. Don't you trouble yourself over it, Captain.
Is she
That was very convincing,
she
Miss.
the mother?
I think your captain almost bought it.
Leading a ship to the seas of Groundbreaker must be a challenge. The size.
Sure is, but she makes it look easy. She's real competent, our chief, even if she ain't real friendly.
But she was like a part of Spacer's Choice. Why would she be like independent now all of a sudden? I could use some work. Any pointers?
Chief Tennyson don't generally hire outsiders for station jobs, but you could try asking at Sublight Salvage. They got an office on the far end of the promenade deck. Anything else I can help you with, mister?
What can you tell me about Sublight Salvage?
They're run by Miss Hagen. Half the tramp captains and contractors in the system have worked for her. I ought to warn you straight off. Scuttlebutt says some of the jobs they do aren't exactly above board. Downright anti-business, if you catch my meaning.
I'll need you to explain that.
Let's say there's been times when I heard somebody needed a thing, and somebody else had such a thing, but they weren't inclined to sell. Now let's say the one who had the thing suddenly found theirs missing, and the one who needed got one. If anyone asks, Sublight says it got salvaged from an old wreck. Case closed.
So they are criminals, but they have an office and you're promenade deck?
If anybody could prove them criminals, the board would have put their foot down a long time past. They always got, what do they call it? Deniability? Something gets nicked or someone turns up dead, Sublight says, hey, independent contractor, not our responsibility. But everyone knows what they're doing, top to bottom.
They're working against the housing board?
Against is a strong word. Let's say that if you need something the board ain't inclined to sell, you might look to Sublight to get it. You might pay Sublight a shitload of bits for it, but that money gets passed on to their contractors, so in the end, it's still business.
You must admit, there is a beauty to the order of it. Everything operates within the constraints of the grand plan, even organized crime.
People do what they gotta to get by. Oh, sure, sorry. Gets a mite boring at this desk, you know. Then I get to chatting too much and Commandant Sonia's gotta reprimand me again and... Oops, doing it again. Sorry.
Oh, don't worry. Captain's real understanding.
Can't speak for the captain, but I'm used to listening to folks drone on about their pointless, depressing lives.
Whoa.
Awful generous of you, listening to me like this.
Mind if I ask, so there's some questions?
That's what I'm here for, sir.
I bet you got seized contraband from all over the system locked up there.
Sure, and stuff from outside the system
Oh,
too,
lame one.
off the interstellar freighters. That's why we also have so many armed Mardettes on duty here.
What if some of that crap contraband's mine and I'm here to claim it?
That'd be awful weird. On account of you should be locked up back here too then.
Back to my other questions.
All right.
Lots of freighters come through the station. Might keep you busy.
Less than there used to be.
Must.
Fewer freighters passing through these days. I spend some shifts just listening to the wireless.
Why aren't as many freighters coming through?
Search me. I mean, don't search me, because that's my job. Get it? I reckon you'd have to ask the folks in Byzantium.
See you around. Employer rights. Under the Biased Labor Standards Act, wage determined by merit of your work. Overtime may result in higher pay if the quality of said works is considered exemplary. Your employer has the right to dock your pay should you damage any facilities or equipment. It is your responsibility, not your employer's, to avoid workspace hazards. Halcyon Colony Department of Labor. Are these guys any better than Spacer's Choice? Okay, can we switch the armor of the car? Okay, we can. But I don't think this can be modified, sadly. That's pretty nice armor. It's that... It just says nothing else. Shit.
it wasn't for us, this whole damn station would shut down.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our hardworking citizens. This story brought to you by Halcyon News. All the news that's fit to broadcast.
The Rest and Go keycard. That's a new one.
You want a punch? We've got your punch right here.
Ooh.
Rizzo's knock you out bar. A CCN 76.
There's a lot of frame drops in here, much more than an actual planet. Ooh boy.
Just got done with a real sweetheart.
Is he even holding anything? No. Just miming.
Life and the unemployed. Talk to your local manager about applying.
Seeking relief from the heat? Till June Lay gets those radiators fixed, I've got the next best thing.
How was Stellar Bay? I don't suppose you know a way I could get the Stellar Bay on Monarch.
Stellar Bay proper? Tough to say. The board recalled all the nav keys about 10 years back when the corpse pulled back to Terra 2.
Oh, Stellar Bay, I guess it's like... what? A key for docking? Or knowing the location how to fly? Do you know why?
It's overrun with beasts, I heard. Big ones. Kinda chew your face off for fun. Might all be board propaganda, though. If you're aiming to get to Stellar Bay, you're gonna have to get your hands dirty. The board don't like them that truck with Monarch. But I ain't the one you ought to be asking. Try Gladys on the promenade. She'll fix you up.
Oh, the traders in the system come through here. Heard anything interesting?
Only the usual. Marauders all over space. You ever wonder how folk who can't figure the bleeding edge technology of a spoon can manage to get ships into space?
What's the heat issue I hear people complaining about?
The radiators, they're fucked 10 ways to Sunday. And we're all sweating buckets wondering when the powers that be are gonna get around to fixing it.
Sounds like you might have an issue with your thermal control system.
Couldn't say, and I wouldn't be pouring drinks professionally if I could. All I know is we're cooking in our own juices here, and it's only gonna get worse.
Who's in charge of fixing it?
Engineering. Chief Junlei Tennyson, to be precise. She runs this heap. Best she can, anyway. Don't know what's got her dragging her heels, but I wish she'd hurry it up.
What do you need radiators for?
They're supposed to gather up all the heat the systems generate and vent it into space. Instead of the heat going where it ought, though, it seems to be blowing
like a
straight
waste.
down the promenade.
Like, heat does not just go away. You're basically releasing air into space. How long has it been like this?
Weeks? I've lost track. Too law-damn long.
Law damned. Maybe I can do something about that.
That's not for me to say. But if you're feeling the urge toward helpfulness, you can find Chief Junlei in engineering.
What do you know about Chief Junlei?
There's nobody who knows more about the station's guts. Any system you could name, June's crawled around inside and made it better. She doesn't come around here often, though. Don't see her as much of a drinker. Too straight-laced for that. What ain't I got?
Auntie Cleo. Tomato-flavored pasta with a secret blend of 37 herbs, spices, and flavored additives. Oh, the space elf. Are you buying guns? I have so many ammo. Wait, that's energy cell. I shouldn't have done that.
My dad taught me, stuff about omelets and fromage. I could take a look at that journal.
By all means. I would be astounded, yet astronomically in your debt.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing at all about eggs and cheese in here. Sorry.
Very helpful.
Need directions? Try an engineer. Groundbreaker's a bit of a maze.
Sure is. Well, that's free.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled...
Rizzo's Purpleberry Bunch, a salt sour candy shell.
Can I upgrade the science weapon? No. Well, I could with this. Only 33 credits. I don't think damage really a part of it. Here's Spacer's Choice. Wait, I can't do the barrel? Oh, come on. Ooh. Maybe. Do a silencer on this pistol. I can't wait. I can't upgrade the revolver? What the hell? Why not? Okay. Well, it could be nice to have a silent weapon. It already has plasma damage, so it wouldn't really do anything.
Upstairs room?
How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. We used to be the Go and Rest, but folks never knew when to leave. Sorry. Business has been slow. Anything to occupy the time.
I'm looking for Gladys.
Oh, you can't miss her. Right behind you, number 2. First unit on the left, or second unit from the right, depending on which direction you count from.
How is life on Groundbreaker?
Fine, as long as the board keeps its grubby mitts to itself. Chief Tennyson holds the ship together, the Promenade holds our economy together, and Sublight is the shoddy jewel in our rusty old crown.
You mentioned Sublight?
Our local garbage collectors. That Lilia Hagen never met a debris field she didn't like. She freely admits she planted her roots in Groundbreaker to escape board oversight. But I think there's more to it. She's unusual in the head, that one.
How does Groundbreaker keep the board at bay?
Our Chief Tennyson has an independent streak, same as her mother and grandmother who rode this ship on the crossing. There's a reason the board's embassy is a glorified shoebox. While Junlei Tennyson lives and breathes, Groundbreaker remains free.
Do you do business with the Promenade merchants?
Of course. Most of our supplies come and go through merchants. Company ships and salvage runs are the only traffic we tend to get. I try and steer clear of that creepy fellow in the moon mask. If there's a cost to being a company man, he paid it in spades.
Is there really a choice you can make? Like, you could be a company man, or you could be like a rebel. But in the main story, we're helping a rebel, and his cause is our cause. So, like, whenever you do help companies, it's just like, why? Are you just going against the plots? Like, every time there's going to be some kind of like excuse. It's like, oh, you just been confused. Yeah, I wonder how that would go. How would story unravel if you just fight against your savior all the time? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, be right back. Gotta pee. It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice. Right.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient, or an oven. Just like store-bought.
Phineas sent me. He said you can sell an off-key to Stellar Bay.
Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in.
Ooh, 10,000. Okay, I actually am lacking. I thought I was pretty wealthy by this point. Any chance of a discount since Phineas sent me?
Phineas, that old kook. He was quite the dancer back in his prime, did he tell you? Real light on his feet. Real light on the wallet, too. He still owes
Wasn't
me a small
emotion on
fortune.
the face. Emotion.
Loss. Maybe I should charge you double.
Can you imagine it? Tell me about this opportunity.
Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. but if you've got qualms...
No qualms here. Let's hear the details.
Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago.
Why was Roseway abandoned?
Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be got into a spot of trouble.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around.
Say no more, I mean.
You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits.
How's that moral
I like that.
flexibility mission?
Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates.
What?
If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs.
Abandoned outpost, corporate secrets, got it.
Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done.
What other jobs do you know about?
Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. She's been trying to get a handle on this heat problem we've got. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but law forfend someone call me a liar.
Want to talk about that opportunity you mentioned?
Yes, dearie?
What do you want me to do again? I feel like they missed with the voice actor. I feel like this character is supposed to be have much older voice. Like, yes, dearie, it just doesn't sound right. It's supposed to be like, yes, dearie. Something more...
Take that
rugged.
darling ship of yours down to Roseway, where that distress signal I told you about came from, and ferret out some tasty corporate secrets for old Gladys. Shouldn't be too tough for a fella like you, I'd think. What do you want, then? My hard-earned wisdom?
You mentioned Groundbreakers outside of the board's control?
That's right, dearie. The only independent station in the colony. That's us. Though for how long, I can't say. That all depends on Miss Junlei.
How do you mean?
The board can't abide a community that won't bend to its will. They've always got one scheme or another running, looking for ways to bring us to heel. Like this heat business. Shameful. But it won't work. No, sir. Groundbreaker's free till the day she dies, law willing. Go right ahead, sweetheart.
What's this about the heat?
Groundbreaker's radiators. Been neither fine nor dandy for weeks now. Miss Junlei's supposed to be getting them fixed, but the board's determined to get in her way.
How do you mean?
The board can't abide a community that won't bend to its will. They've always got one scheme or another running, looking for ways to bring us to heel. Like this heat bit, but it won't work.
Okay, those are done. What do you do here?
Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I buy and sell items that require discretion to dispose of. Knickknacks. Curios. I also knit throw pillows stuffed with the hair of famous tossball players. But that's more of a passion project.
I'm not sure that's entirely legal.
That's half the reason I make them, my dear. But that's not what you wanted to talk about, is it, dear?
Like the board recalls Stellar Bay Keys.
Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of all the monsters on Monarch desperate to gobble you up. Because that's what the board tells them, you see. I think they made some fool mistake that would make them look bad to the rest of the colony, and they're trying to hide the evidence.
What makes you think that?
Those board folk are real prideful-like. Never want you looking behind the curtain, lest you see their derrieres. But old Gladys knows the score. The whole colony's not much more than a diorama, showcasing one board screw-up after another. That's why we gotta keep them from getting their grubby mitts on Groundbreaker. She's our mess.
Why are there still people down there?
Probably. Every once in a while, we get these snippets of radio chatter. Edna shows them to me. Some man hooting and hollering about the light in us all. Claims he's transmitting from Monarch, but who knows if that's true. Might be true. Might be some new trick from the board.
Thanks for your time.
Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here, take a candy with you.
A candy? She also was
Gracious.
selling something.
I was just sitting down for tea. I found a handsome ceramic mandapillar at a salvage auction last week.
Whoa. No, that's just normal stuff. Locked behind the reputation. Wait, corrosive pistol? Light? 600 DPS? X6? What the? It's only 4,000. Special effect bleed? Jeez. Oh, 10. I already can have it, but I don't need money for the info. Hephaestus Mining Archive Cartridge. This data cartridge contains the public records of Hephaestus Mining's outpost on Scylla. It can be viewed using the captain's terminal on the Unreliable. Like accounting figures, most companies keep two sets of data records, public and private. Wildcat miners often purchase the public records of failed mining outposts, hoping to uncover details on remaining ore veins that are too small for a corporation to consider profitable. Battered Mardet datapad, an old datapad once used by the Groundbreakers Mardet security forces. From the accumulated dust and grime, this hasn't been assessed for over a decade. Down on their luck, smugglers will often purchase old datapads in the hope of finding clues to a forgotten cache of goods they can sell. The old datapad contains incident reports from various Mardet security patrols. Most are details of simple finds and dust-ups between the crews of Wildcat freighters and corporate haulers. 2 entries have been marked for later review. August 7, 2344 responded to a code ID 10T at the Lost Hope. Vera asked us to bounce some Back Bay rat that got himself soaked in Spectrum Red. Drunken fool got into a scuffle with one of Engineer Tennyson's people. We tossed the Runglage back down to the base. Asshole fought us the entire day, telling us we'd be sorry once he controlled the Hammer's power. If this is some new Hammersmith marketing stunt, I'm complaining to Saint Nita. October 25th, same year, had another run-in with the Ruglage from the Lost Hope. I don't know how the uppity picker crawled out of the back base without us noticing, locked himself into the repair bay of docking Sleep 13 and refused to come out. Kept raving about weapons chaotic beauty or some shit while we were trying to talk him out. Had to break off when our shift ended. Hall's heads gotta come out eventually. Strange that I'm not allowed to buy this, but I'm allowed to buy this. Should I? That's insane DPS. Yeah, I think this sniper rifle too old now. Gotta swap it with something else. Still has more damage than the revolver.
This is the simple truth. We are all molecular machines. The body is a collection of atoms. The mind is a consequence of chemical reactions. Therefore, our lives are predestined along a path that is only visible in retrospect. Life is fated and unstoppable.
I don't know, Mr. Vicker. That seems like quite a leap.
No, it seems to be correct. But why is there a great designer and a plan? Is that part of it? Squatter's Journal. I served on 2 corporate freighters before I got stranded here. Everyone's heard my sub-story, but no one's listening. To them, I am just background radiation. Wasn't my fault the captain decided to take off early. Wasn't my fault no one checked the crew manifest. Wasn't my fault they replaced me with a full-timer. Now I am filthy, beatless, and bedless. For as anyone's concerned, I am Groundbreaker's trash. That's how I live. And if no one agrees to take me on as a crew, I suppose that's how I'll die. Holographic disguise activated. Your holographic shroud has activated. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Temporary access to this restricted area. Moving drains shroud's energy. When it runs out, personnel will see and interrogate you. Tuck your way out of the interrogation to reset your shroud. It will get harder to tuck your way out the more you are interrogated.
Great work.
Looking sharp. If you're not crew, you're little people.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing here.
I had a question about your plan, Mr. Vicar.
Of course. The cosmos is generated and directed by the universal equation.
What is
also
this?
known as the grand plan.
The
By
philosopher's
contemplating the
cave?
teleological order of things, one can achieve verity. Oh, right. You had a question?
Never mind. That about answers it.
When you were sick, who took your temperature? When you were hungry, who gave you a needle full of blood? Auntie Cleo, that's who. Giving your auntie a hug today.
I hear scary things about
With Halcyon News, your only source for news in the Halcyon colony.
Why am I interested in this guy's terminal? Pay-to-view movies. No, pay-to-view is restricted to diamond level guests, but feel free to pursue our catalog. Entertainment cartridges are available for rent at the main desk. There are currently 0 cartridges in stock. My big canid friend. Synopsis: a lab-grown giant canid goes on an adorable rampage, leading a family of scientists on a wild chase across Emerald Vale. Spending the holiday away from home proves to be a chore, but the family soon realizes that true friends are the monsters you meet along the way. Rated FSR 11 for fun times, simulated rampage, and body count 11. Nanner's Spank 7, Primal Affections. Raised by wilderness primals, one man will leave the jungle he knows to explore, the one he doesn't. Keystone. What? Raised by wilderness primals, one man will leave the jungle he knows to explore, the one he doesn't. Keystone. He came from Nanner's Spank, but he stayed for love. Can a young man, corporate executive, color this creature, or will she awaken the beast within? Rated PACNS for fashion, anthropods, and consensual nanner spanking. Humor. Baking with Edna. And this time honored culinary classic. Chef Edna gives a valuable life lessons while she cooks from the Book of Approved Cakes. Learn to maintain a structured kitchen, obey your head chef, achieve a good sponge, and obey your sous chef. Edna is the boss in her kitchen. Now she can be the boss of yours. Space Hospital. If the walls of Orbital Hospital could talk, they'd shriek with terror. These doctors have seen it all. Zero-G kissed licensing, extraterrestrial teratoma, Next, on a very special episode, in order to trap a cam thief, Dr. Margrave must become a serial arsonist. Don't forget to see Space Hospital Nights for steamy suspense. Broderick's Brood. An ordinary colony and family daydreams of the extraordinary, while Lucia works in the factory canning process worst. Her ham-handed husband cooks up schemes to land her a big promotion. Will that lovable fool ever learn to be satisfied with what he has? Roderick's Brood is a testament to the lassie's success, family lifestyle. I'll try to remember that there is a venting system. Don't I have that keycard? Or am I not allowed?
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
.24 armor. Another dialogue skill one. 29 armor heavy. Science +3. Hello. But it's just science. My mod gives +5 to tech skills. To all tech skills. So this is Rizzo's color scheme. It's more armor. A sword, a plasma sword. That's cool.
Game into question.
I've been at lost hope, I've been rest and go. Ooh, brother. Martin Callahan.
Sorry about the heat. Chief Dennison will get the radiators fixed soon. Of course, this heat sure makes a 0G brew extra refreshing. It's an ale that's good for what ails you. Oh, and it's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. Taste the freedom. A lot of slogans to keep track of. Sometimes I forget.
You work for Spacer's Choice or ever been to Edgewater?
Heard of it. My orientation aetherwave showed that famous Saltuna cannery, which I'm sure smells as good as it looks.
You heard me so much, it's a dump.
Not the word I'd use. I think of it more like a... No, I take it back. Dump sums it up nicely.
Well, I liked it fine enough.
I'm sure they're doing their best. That's the Spacer's Choice spirit. So, what can I get you? Some soap? Everyone loves soap. Everyone will love you for using it, too.
I've got to ask you about the hat.
I'm bound to satisfy headgear-related inquiries. Please send any complaints to our Consumer Care Headwear Division.
You doing all right in there?
Oh, I'm having a stellar day. And not just because I'm legally obligated to say so. Almost as stellar as a Spacer's Choice is affordable.
Can you see him there?
I can see all of the top quality merchandise in the Spacer's Choice catalog, which is available here at a reasonable price.
How do you brush your teeth?
Spacer's Choice regrets that we don't sell toothpaste at this time, but we're always working on delivering exciting new products to our customers. Spread wash, mouthwash, and Mantafloss are among the exciting line of dental goods currently in development.
Do you miss eating solid food?
Don't miss out on these deals. You'll find none like them on all of Groundbreaker, or anywhere in the Halcyon colony.
Is it actually implied that he never takes it off, or we're just joking around? Where can I get a hat like yours?
You would never ask if you knew what it's like in here. I mean, why, anyone can be a Spacer's Choice Consumer Relations Choice Specialist. Just keep your nose clean and aim for the moon.
Do you have to sleep in that hat on?
Trouble sleeping? Try our Lunar Eclipse mix. That's 2 handfuls of pep pills washed down with a hearty swig of 2-hour energy brew. The blast will send you through the stratosphere and the crash will knock you out cold, guaranteed.
Does Spacer's Choice make you wear that hat?
Add an additional 10% to your purchase today and the proceeds will be donated to Spacer Cares, our premier corporate welfare program. At Spacer's Choice, we care about your health and emotional well-being. That's why we put Martin through 6 years of vendor school, only to make him wear this hat.
The sound of mouth opening is just so distracting because it feels like it's not coming from the mouth. It's just kind of disconnected. It's so loud too. Do you need me to help you get out of there?
Even if my contract didn't forbid it, I think it's part of me now. Now, are you ready to make Spacer's Choice Lunar Green Moonmouth lozenges a part of you? Lunar Green, the future is spearmint.
I am addressing the man behind the mask. Are you okay?
Damn it. No slogan for that one. Look, this hat, my job. It may not seem like much to a brave space captain, but they're all that I have. If there are self-made purgatories, then we all have to live in them. Mine can be no worse than someone else's. Now, if we're done with the chit-chat, I hope you don't mind if I make the most of this short life and try to be the best moon person I can be.
Sorry if I pushed you too hard, Martin.
It's fine. I should be stronger than this. Thanks for taking an interest. Speaking of interest, can I interest you in some quality budget goods? At Spacer's Choice, we cut corners so you don't have to.
What do you sell here?
Anything and everything. Whatever you want, we got it. And when you need a replacement, we got that too.
Must be sure the quality if needs replacing.
Just the opposite. Spacer's Choice items are always new, hot off the shelves, because customers just can't stop buying new stuff. Oh, sorry. Got the line wrong. You want me to do it again?
Oh, don't you bother.
Okay, customer's always right. Thanks. Moving on. You could go broke buying overpriced Aramid gear, or you could buy from us at a much more reasonable rate.
But it sounds like Armand beer won't break it the first time you use it.
That's why you should get a backup or 3. Become a frequent buyer. Join our Friendship Rewards program. Program currently unapproved in Alpha, rewards and friendship pending. Have a look.
Ooh, you can actually wear this Lie +5. That's clothing. I do have the eye patch that does that. Man, I wish I had actual good storage. Discounts 55%. That's nice. Walk speed busted. As utility.
I know she's in there, Mfuru.
Ellie.
You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
Why does it have 4... What? Is that a glitch? 4 bonuses? Like modification slots?
I am not making a scene.
What seems to be the problem?
Can't I buy supplies from you? Seem well stocked.
Not without dispensation from Chief Jun Lei, I fear. Supplies are hard to come by out here.
What do you mean?
We don't have the ability to manufacture our own medical supplies here on Groundbreaker. Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for such mundane items as bandages and antibiotics, as well as more critical resources like adequately trained staff. We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with Anti-Cleos, but they demanded we only use their branded drugs, and that's simply not tenable. Take care.
sorry. Am I causing a scene? See, Umfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me talk to Jesse in the first place.
What's this about, your friend?
Let me get one thing straight. Jesse and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay? As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors.
Wait, you don't even like her, but you're checking on her?
You say that like it's weird.
But why bother?
Like I said, Jessie did me a favor, and now I owe her one. I just don't like to leave a debt unpaid, that's all.
This sounds ominous. This situation sounds normal to me.
Yeah, if she's in the morgue.
Maybe she just wants to be left alone.
Come on, we're on a space station. No one gets that kind of luxury. Besides, who wouldn't want to see me? I'm a delight.
Maybe I can look in on this.
Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy, I'll be impressed.
Something I can help you with?
I'd like to see Jesse Doyle.
If only my other patients had so many inquiring after them. I'll tell you what I've told the others. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. Requests of our patients are paramount, so no, you may not see her.
Records say, have you actually spoken to her yourself?
She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would falsify patient records, if that's what you're implying. Take care.
How about I just walk in?
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service.
Better myself, isn't this the Mad Bay?
Sure is. You need a deft hand to straighten a busted nose or sparkle up those not-so-pearly whites? I'm your gal. Of course, there's not much cosmetic improvement going on at the moment, not without my mechanicals. Where the law is Irian anyway?
You do cosmetic surgery in this regular space station, really?
Sure. How do you think we keep this pile of junk in the sky? It costs bits, and a little prettying up brings in a fair few of them. Or it would, if I had my dang mechanicals.
Wheeler told me to tell you to get off his ass about your shipment.
Did he now? The mouth on that man. I swear his late mother'd be ashamed. He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another scrape. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanicals at this rate.
Who's Irion?
Our delivery man. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by dates, usually by bandits.
What do you need mechanicals for?
Surgery, mostly. Medical personnel are difficult to come by on Groundbreaker.
Why is that?
The board won't let their doctors and nurses station here, and they own all the medical schools. If we can't hire their people, we can't hire anyone. Everyone on staff here on Groundbreaker was trained by me or Idris. We're good, don't get me wrong. But we've only 2 heads between us, and we don't know everything.
I'll keep trying to find him.
I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, were I the adventuring type. You look out, though.
The place is probably crawling with outlaws.
So that's another planet. Ooh, that's where I was. Would they mind?
You ever wonder if maybe folks keep
Can you close that door?
Understood. My head down.
For the last ratted on rotten time, leave me in peace! You hull-headed quacks do know that restful recuperation requires not being disturbed, don't you?
You understand me?
What? Why? Everything's fine. We're all fine here. No need for her to be worrying her pretty little head about me. I'm just terrible, dreadful sick is all. Got a cough that won't quit and sores all over my body. Highly, lethally contagious. But I'll be fine, so long as I'm left alone.
She's worried about you a lot.
Criminy. She really ain't gonna drop this, is she? Alright, okay. We can discuss this like the level-headed folk that we are. Seems I've gotta do something before Ellie goes jabbering my business to anyone with one ear and an intent to listen.
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it with my dying breath. You, ain't with the board, are you? See, I owe them a lot. I might have missed a payment or two, and the other night I swear someone was following me back to my room. So I hold up here to lay low.
Why would I lie? So she gives me some money? What did you do that got you in trouble?
What? No, I didn't do anything. I'm a law-abiding denizen of this ship, I swear.
Yet you think the boar had someone to follow you and now you're hiding out?
Think? No. I recognize a contracted killer when I see one, thank you. In my line of work, that's a skill you develop during week 1, assuming you want to keep breathing. All right, I'll fess this part up too, if it means you'll help me. I'm a thief. I specialize in particularly high-end and historically valuable items. 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the blood-tier diamond, last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope, had surfaced for the first time in 70 years.
Heiress on the Lost Hope? What? So what does this have to do with the board?
Udam was my buyer for when I'd acquired the diamond. He paid half up front to finance the operation. Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond, and it crumbled to stardust in my palm. Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back Udam's deposit I'd spent.
feel like we need to talk to Udom before we go with anything else, but I don't know. Ailey asked me to help you, so that's what I'm planning to do.
Udon Bedford's the board guy on the station. He'd know how I stand with them. If you can square things for me, I'd owe you one even bigger than Ellie owes me.
I'll talk to Udom for you.
Thanks for helping me with the board. You're a real pal. Or I guess I should say, Ellie is one, huh?
Alrighty. So dialogue is at the point basically maxed out before I continue. Tech kinda the same. I guess I could focus on stealth, especially in this location. It seems to be important. I do want leadership though, also. Special attacks. At least on 20. I want to see those attacks. The inhaler heals you and companions, but they get 30% of the healing effects. The ID cartridge right next to where you need it. Great.
Any word on Jessie?
Remind me what happened between you two.
Let's just say she did me a favor, and now I owe her. So, did you find her, or what?
She's in debt to the board and thinks someone after her. I'll handle it.
Good luck. The board's got an office on the promenade just before engineering. You can't miss it.
Bells, shells.
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? That's how you know your weapon loves you back. I got a full line of weapon modifications I'd be happy to show you.
What's the benefit of modifying my weapons?
Why, it gets you the weapon best suited for your lifestyle.
All the better for performing a little percussive maintenance.
Self-improvement, including one's weapons, is always a worthy endeavor.
Take your basic Deadeye assault rifle. Perfectly serviceable. But what if you like finesse? Slap a scope and silencer on that bad boy. Bunker down in a bush someplace and pop off heads. What if you like getting in close and making a lot of noise? Extended ammo magazine and a barrel heatsink to bump up rate of fire.
Does modifying a weapon void the warranty?
A what? Sorry, hon. Here at Bell's Shells, we just don't discuss impolite topics, and WARRA and TIES tops the list.
How do I attach modification?
Only takes a bit of elbow grease and a spot of engineering know-how. Most ships have a workbench near the cargo hold. Ours is in engineering. You could take your new toys over there if you feel like tinkering.
Change my mind, can I take a mod off to replace it?
No and yes. When you install something, it pops in there real nice, but if you want to replace it, the originals tend to snap like plastic toys.
It's funny that you have to explain it in game. Like it makes no sense when that's the case. Where can I find modifications?
Right here for a start. I got a fair selection. Modified weapons are my specialty. So...
Your specialty, huh? Another boulder pistol. Flamethrower. Plasma. Jeez. Sounds fun. Yeah, but I already spent a lot of money.
Oh, careful. What do you think you're doing?
Oops. Not in the roll.
I don't have time for this.
Heavy machine gun. Hello. 400 DPS. Level 10. On. Wait. Where is this going? Wait. Well, that's locked. Alright, I guess we gonna end here. The chat on Twitch is a bit off. Alright, well, get in here. Basically been talking the whole time. It's just so much dialogue. Yeah, we'll continue later today.